Understanding how you're using pressure in the golf swing is a really important part of the modern swing and the understanding of the golf swing as a whole. It's time for an FJ fix. Now, here's what I've done. I made a swing just a little bit earlier before we started shooting this to give you an idea of how pressure shifts and when it's where it is in the golf swing, okay? Now, this is for my golf swing. This is a 6-iron that I'm hitting. At address, what you're going to see here is at address, I've got about 53% of my pressure on my lead side. What also you're going to notice is that I'm a little heel side biased, and I need to be a little bit more toe side biased at address, right? I want to be about 50-50, a little bit of left side, but 50-50, okay? Now, as we start to go through this motion, I want you to see how when we start moving this club into the backswing, how things shift. So now it's starting to shift back to my heel. I'm getting a little bit more pressure out here on the toe. 53% is a little bit more out on the toe. And I already have 80% of my pressure on my trail side. And of that 80%, actually 81% on the trail side, 70% of that is in that trail heel. So we're really loading that trail heel as we're taking that backswing. And I don't even have that club parallel to the ground yet, and I've already got that into that trail heel. Now as we start to go, it starts to go up. So now I'm at 80% and 80%. I got 80% on the right side, 80% on the right heel. So I'm really putting that into the pressure is really going into the ground in the heel there. This is something that Pete Cowan talks about, twisting, he calls it the spiral staircase, twisting into the ground there. That's why I give you that image of spinning that heel into the ground, because you're getting all that weight that's going that way. And it's because that trail hip is working back this way. So when you're setting up to hit the shot, that trail hip is going like this. You don't want that trail hip to glide. You want that trail hip to turn, which is why you're going to get that 80% and 80% right there when that club is parallel to the ground. Now, 63% of the pressure is onto the lead toe. When we start going up here, this is when things get really interesting. Right here, I have 87% of my pressure into the trail heel. 87% of my pressure is on the right side. And of the 13% of the pressure on the lead side, 81% is in the toe. And again, that's because we're grinding in here. So we're going like this, and I'm getting heel and toe. And now we're going to start to see some shifting going more forward into that toe. As that arm starts to go up into the air now things are going to start to shift. And I'm at 88 into the heel, 89 over on the trail side, and now I'm shifting. And I'm starting to move. And now we're going to go. I got all my pressure is on the toe of the lead foot of the 13% that's there. And now we're starting to load, and now we're going to start to fire. I got a little bit of shift go into the toe as I'm starting to shift. And now what you're seeing is this little dot right here. This dot that's right there is going to start moving forward. So there's the forward part. And now I'm starting to put more weight into that, more pressure rather, into that lead leg. I'm starting to unweight the trail side. And right now, I've got a majority of the weight, 66% of my weight is on my trail side here, but it's shifting, and it's still in the heel. It's moving from the heel to the toe. That's what this line is going to show you right here. We're going to move from the heel to the toe. Watch how this is going to now shift. Look at that. I'm about 50-50 right here. 87% of the pressure on the lead foot is over there. Now I'm at 70-30. So I've put a lot of pressure into that lead foot, that lead leg, and specifically in the lead toe, but I'm going to start pushing off the lead toe to the lead heel. So we're getting now a little shearing going on right here. And now I've got 84% of my pressure over here on my lead leg. If I go back to here, And this is always fascinating. 50-50 right here. And in 7 frames of that camera, I have gone from 50-50 as I'm going in there with the pressure to 84-16. That's how much is getting into that lead leg. And now, once I get to there with 73% of the pressure on those toes, now I'm going to start to push off of there. And you're going to see this number shift. Starting to shift. Now it's shifting. Now it's shifting. Now I'm at 50-50 on the lead foot. So now my pressure, I've got both toe and heel, but it's on its way to heel, because what I've done is I've pushed back with that lead foot. So I push back, and now you can see that green getting in there. Look at what's going on over here. 100% of my pressure. There's only 8%, but of that 8%, 100 is in the toe. And that's why that heel is up in the air as I'm delivering the club. There are other people that do it differently. You might see Justin Thomas with that heel a little bit more up into the air with a driver. It's different with irons than it is with driver. But the point is that as you're starting to go, the pressure is moving and it's shifting. And now you got right here, near impact, 65% of the pressure in the heel, 74%, post-impact, 78%. All right, so what does that all mean? I know it sounds a little complicated. Here's what I want to do. I want you to get the idea that when you're taking the club back, you're shifting into that heel and toe. So the pressure is now here, not a lot, but if of what's over on the lead side is in the toe, and what is on the trail side is in the heel. So we're going here, and then when we start to go down, we shift into that, and then we're pushing back from this toe back to this heel that way. Okay? So let's hit one. I got everything all set up. I'm in the green. Everything is good. So 50-50. Get into that trail heel. Get into the lead toe. Push off the lead toe. That's brilliant shot right there, Gibbsy. Trail heel, lead toe, lead heel, just like that. Let's see if we can get that. And now what I get is I get a really clean strike, a very powerful strike. Ball speed goes up. That's a big one for me. Actually, 118 miles an hour ball speed, 181 carry distance on my 6-iron, and I got a nice little draw there. So here's what you're paying attention to. You have to understand how you're applying pressure in the ground here. And when you start to think about getting that pressure into that heel of the trail foot and into the toes of the lead foot and into the heel of the trail foot, now all of a sudden you start understanding how to use the ground efficiently and effectively. Now you start understanding how to generate clubhead speed, and with practice, that clubhead speed will transition into ball speed because you'll hit it in the center of the club face. When you start to do that, you will really improve your game, and that's our FJ Fix. To improve all parts of your game, subscribe to my channel and click the link below.